Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I can't believe we're actually doing this again. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, hold the applause. Yes, actually, no. Keep it going. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Another video? That's probably gonna be like over 20 minutes long. That's crazy. I wonder what it could be. If you follow my Instagram, which you totally should, shameless plug, you would have known that this video was coming. I've told several people. But to the people who didn't and didn't see the title, I don't know what it is, but it's going to do something to be along the lines of ECHS, tips, tricks, and stuff like that. Um, Before we even get into any of that, how are you guys all doing? I know you guys are probably watching me on your big TVs and watching me on your phones and your computers. So, hello to everyone, right? I'm gonna try to hold off on swear words. I don't want to curse with y'all's parents around because they might potentially know me. So I don't want that. But hope you guys had a great summer. I definitely did. It was pretty eventful. In very good ways, not bad, but just in very good ways. It was pretty eventful. Played a lot of games with a lot of my crew, and I didn't make a whole lot of videos, but the one video I did actually perform pretty well. So thank you to everyone who watched that Fortnite video. I don't really post a whole lot of Fortnite on here, so it's just kind of like a surprise to see that people will watch me play Fortnite, right? I just want to give some quick shout outs if you guys are okay with that. Please, if you really want to get to the tips and tricks part, just go ahead and skip. But true fans, you know who you are. You're not going to skip this. I would like to give shout outs to, all the people who've been with me like for the past 4 years, even if it was on and off. Shout outs to my boy Kyrie, Reef, Hayden. Those guys were like the original day ones right there. Um, that's been my fam right there. And even though there were some highs and lows and shit like that, I just swore. Can we get a swear counter somewhere? Whatever. Even though there's been highs and lows in the friendship, right? We came back together. As the Bravo Four, right? I have to say thank you to all of the teachers who helped, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here, right? I wouldn't be in the position I am now. I wouldn't be as confident as I am now, right? I've feel like I've been on a journey, right, from freshman year, and uh, some people might say I've grown. Some people might not say I have, but it was a long ride, right? 4 years. That's no easy feat. That's a long time, right? And it's a lot of character growth. People say, hey, he's improved. People say, hey, he didn't. And quite frankly, whichever one you pick, I don't really care. I feel like I've improved. I feel like I've done some good. And I feel like I can be redeemed on some Kratos type shit. I feel like I can be redeemed. Um, but yeah, just thank you to all the teachers who helped from freshman year to senior year, right? Especially to a specific teacher who I've always looked up to, right? And kind of gave me like the inspiration to make these kind of videos. Kind of just talking freely, speaking my truth. That might be a hint. To talk about stuff like this, because I feel like stuff like this really need to be talked about, right? And while going into high school, it's either a enlightening experience or a blinding one, right? I feel like just getting these videos, right, just kind of archiving, documenting these videos is just good. I feel like it's good to just document these videos and stuff like that, because who knows, the next class might need them, right? The next after and previous, just to know a bit of the history, know all the things that's happening. And just a clarification, the school is not all entirely bad. There's just a couple bad things in it that are way more showcasey like than the good things. But I'd say the school's overall pretty good. But when there are bad things, it tends to overshadow all of the good things. You know, I thank my mom. Hey, thanks, mom. Like you got me here. I'm thankful to be turning 18 in 2 months. That's crazy to say, but um, thanks for raising me, honestly. And I don't want to get emotional. This is supposed to be a tips and tricks, but I don't know. There's just a whole lot of people, right? Family, friends, all supporting, right? Um, and I, just one more. Myself. I have to thank myself. Um, I didn't think I was gonna make it. I didn't think I could get to the point where I am now. I did. There were doubts, lots of them. Trust me. Um, but I got here. So, thanks me. Thanks Taryn. Thanks. I don't. I don't know. Personalities that are in my mind. I don't freaking know. Um, but yeah. Well, all that mushy, gooey, icky stuff and heart to heart and all that whatnot. We got new freshmen coming to ECHS, and we all know how much of either a pain or an absolute, you know, I don't know, full circle. I don't really know the words for it, right? But we got more students coming in, so it's all four: senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. Like everyone's here now. The gang's all here. Um, and I feel like if you went to Sunbridge, if some of y'all did do the Sunbridge program thing, and you got to see the freshmen and how they react and the all the stuff, it was overwhelmingly positive. Um, I think the freshmen during the Sunbridge was the most positive group that I think I've had, like out of all of them, and I did all the Sunbridges, so it's kind of like, wow, this group is shockingly like more calm and eager, you know? So it's kind of like I got a good feeling. I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of drama going on with these guys. Honestly, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But it wouldn't be a shock if I didn't hear anything about them because they were such a chill group. But anyways, I'm going off on tangents. This is my video, so I can go on whatever tangent I want. But you guys are coming into school in about a week. It's about a week until we all go back to school, and you guys have to take on that high school journey. And while personally, I won't be doing anything during the first couple of days because I have all college classes now, except the minus like the one actual high school class. I will be sitting around the entire time doing absolutely nothing other than getting courses finalized and a whole lot of other hoopla, you know. But you guys, y'all don't really even have to worry about that kind of stuff. Y'all are just gonna go straight into it, right? But I want to kind of go down a timeline of things. I don't have things planned. I just came here, hit the record button, kind of pre-planned what I want to say a little bit, so I know what I was gonna say without any stutter, because I hate stuttering. But just kind of thinking about things, you know. I mean, y'all took y'all's TSI, your English TSI. Maybe some of y'all passed, maybe some of y'all didn't, and that's completely okay. Okay, I just want to make that clear. If it wasn't clear during Sunbridge, you not passing your English TSI now is completely okay. And you have nothing to stress about, right? You have 10 months, right? And even if you get it, even if you don't get it, right? Because when you're going to take Avid. That's your first semester. And then in your second semester, you're going to be taking EDUC. And maybe this was all explained, maybe it wasn't, but you not passing your TSI for the entire 10-month period of which school takes place in is completely okay. Do not beat yourself up about it, right? Some of y'all might already know this, and some of y'all might have already passed, so this doesn't even relate to you until sophomore year. Yeah, we're gonna say I think it's sophomore year, right? Don't let the TSI beat you up. Don't let it overrun your mind and your ability to think, because I took the TSI a lot of times, not just the English one but the math one, which is coming up. But the English one took me a whole lot of tries. And it was so incredibly infuriating to get that, that 137, that 135, that 140, right? It was so incredibly infuriating to keep getting those scores and not hitting the mark, which is, I think, is a 945. Um, it was frustrating, and I understand. I was in your shoes. A lot of other people were in that position, right? But I'm telling you, you do not have to stress about it. There's amazing tutors and teachers who are going to help you get on the right path and stuff like that. Personally, um, when I took the math TSI, I don't, and this applies for the math one, but, or did I say math? English, the English and math TSI, it was really a mindset issue, right? So if you feel like you know all the content, like, oh, I see this question, I know the answer, but I pick it wrong every time, then maybe there's some self-doubt. Maybe there's things that are in your mind that are kind of overwhelming, overlooming that knowledge and that ability to kind of to think. So get rid of the fear. And that's easier, that's way easier said than done. And I know, right? Hold on, I'm actually gonna lower the camera down a little bit so y'all can see my, like, the hand gestures and stuff like that. Excuse the mess on my desk and stuff like that, but I know how it feels to kind of have the overwhelmingly stress and all the negative emotions when taking this test, because when you get that 20 questions, right? When you're on question 19, your heart starts beating faster, right? Your blood starts pumping, you start getting a little bit anxious, you start tapping your foot a little bit. Yeah, I understand that. I completely do. But you have to take a deep breath and you have to let it all out and say, hey, you have an unlimited amount of tries to get it right, get it perfect, and get it over with. Because it's one time test, and you're good for the rest of your life. Once you pass that TSI, you'll be good to go for EDUC. And that's the next kind of chapter of your ECHS high school career or whatever, right? Is EDUC, which means it basically what it dumbs down to, it's the before college. It's a college readiness class. So you're going to be doing more things that are kind of in tune for college, right? So you're going to be doing kind of like essays, or you're going to be doing essays, slideshow presentations, maybe, I don't know. We all got different people. So, and y'all might already be good with essays and test taking and presenting on class, in front of class and stuff like that. There's also gonna be other things like time management, where you're gonna have to kind of time everything that you do during your day to see what do you kind of get up to for a whole week-long period. That may or may not happen for some of y'all. It happened to me. And it got so bad that I was still kind of taking time even after the class was over. So it's kind of like, hey, it's a good skill to have. Knowing what you're going to be getting into when you get into those college settings, you will not just be surrounded by your friends and other classmates. You will be surrounded by adults, so it is appropriate to act like an adult when it comes to that setting, right? Or just not even around when adults are around, but just like acting mature when it's time for you to go into into a college setting. Unless you guys got a fun teacher. I got pretty fun teachers, we're able to do things that maybe most college professors wouldn't allow, but I have fun teachers, and I hope that you guys get fun teachers next year, or even this year during EDUC. So there's not a whole lot to go on with EDUC other than it's a lot of time management stuff and a lot of test taking abilities and stuff like that. And this is kind of like Sunbridge in a nutshell, or not even in a nutshell, but more like stretched out. You guys already know about the accelerator, right? You guys already know what all of that is for. I think we have the most resources. I would like to argue that we have the most resources out of the entire district. So really, if you really need a question answered, 10 times out of 10, that question has already been answered probably like a decade prior, right? And the chances are the information being in high school is really 50-50, but the chances of being in college is, increased a lot more, So if you have questions, if you got things you want to get answered that weren't really answered during summer bridge and all that stuff, Accelerator is right there. There's a lot of people who are willing to help you get on the right track and stuff like that. And then kind of the more like other stuff I wanted to talk about, and this is gonna be a super long video. It's already long enough, but knowing your classes, right? This is something when you're making your schedule that is, when you're making your own schedule, you're not gonna get everything that you want, right? You're not gonna get everything that that you wanted to, and that's completely okay, right? It's all about the learning and keeping it in your mind, and you might use it for later and blah blah blah. That's all fine. Except it's not fine when they tell you that you're not allowed to do something because of your intelligence. That is something that has actually happened to several people. You can ask around. I won't say names, but because they probably don't want to be placed in all of this and don't want to get questions, so I'm looking out for you guys. But if you ask around, there have been people, and they might want to share their stories in the comments. But there have been people who have wanted to take a class and were told that they couldn't take that class because the counselor thinks that it's not the best fit for you. They don't know what's the best fit for you. I'm gonna be real, and maybe I already know this, but maybe I'll need to hear it again from someone else. They don't know what's the best fit for you. Sure, they're looking out for you, right? And that's fine. But you know what's the best fit for you, right? If you want to take, I don't know, if you want to take advanced geometry, right? And they're saying, advanced geometry, that might be a little bit more that might be a bit difficult for you. Then I should give you all more the right to go out of your way to take that class. Don't let them tell you that you can't take something because they don't think you can. The minute they say, I don't think you, just immediately tune it off. Because if they say that, then it's like they're going to make a passive aggressive kind of like jab at you. A good example of this, right, would be from one of my friends. I'm not going to name any names, but one of my friends, right, Math TSI. Oh boy, my Math TSI was the hardest thing ever. It took me about 6 tries for me to finally get it. Thank you to all the people who helped me. But one of my friends, right, who was also taking Math TSI, was told by my counselor, all of our counselor, because there's only like 400 people here, so we won't get another counselor until we reach like a 500 people criteria, which will never happen. Maybe after we go, it will. But he was basically told, sorry. He was basically told that he couldn't, that he might not pass the Math TSI. Real words that came from her. And we joke around about it and stuff like that, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing that she has said. And she's probably said it to 1,000 other students. Not thousands, but hundreds, tens maybe. She's probably said to her students. She thinks, we'll see if you pass your Math TSI. Not, I know you'll pass. Words like that make people discouraged. Words like that make people not want to do it. But I'm telling you right now, when you go into this school and you take all your classes, even if it's not here and you go to a different one, right? Because things didn't fit. The minute they tell you that you can't do something, you do it. And I'm not trying to set you guys up. I'm not saying when a teacher tells you no, you do the exact opposite. No, I'm saying when it comes to an educational setting, when it comes to what you want and what you want from your classes, then you kind of have to tune them out. Because they're going to tell you that you can't take this. For example, you want to take pre-cal, right? But guess what? And you think you're good at math. Let's say you're good at math, right? But your grades don't show for it, which is another reason why grades are stupid, right? They're going to say, based off your grades from previous semesters and stuff like that, I don't think it would be the best fit for you to take pre-cal. You know the material. You just have really bad test anxiety, and you have barely passed. You passed low 70s. You probably got an 80 in one 6 weeks, but your grades show that maybe it's not for you. Pre-cal maybe isn't for you because of what your grades look like. And if you know that you're good at pre-cal, right? If you know that you're good at something, it's just the environment, then take that class no matter what. Whether you win or lose, right? It's really up to you, right? It's really up to you at the end of the day on if you pass, fail, or whatever. But if you know the material, if you genuinely know the material, and you think you can do it, you know you can do it, then take it. Because the one thing about this class, right? The one thing about all of the classes is that we have to be persistent, right? I don't know about the freshmen who are turning into sophomores, but we had to be persistent. We had to say, I want this class. I want this class because this is something that I'm going to go into when I graduate, right? You can't tell me no because of previous things, because you think I'm any less intelligent, and that's what they're going to treat you. They're going to treat you as a baby. Oh, you're fresh to high school, so guess what? That means you're a little infant. And to any one of you, right, who are above these freshmen and the juniors and the sophomores, right? Stop treating them like babies. Right? Just because we were the first and we didn't have anyone above us doesn't mean we get the right to people below us and call them babies, right? That they don't know what to do and they're just kind of running around like a chicken without his head, right? Don't call them babies. We all go to the same high school. I'm not saying we all need to be one big happy family. I'm saying that it just isn't appropriate because some people might take offense to that. Some people might be discouraged from that, and it would really suck if you were the cause it would really suck if you were the cause of their mental status. I don't know, but it would suck. So, hey, if we wouldn't like it, then that means you don't do it to other people. Because if you do it to other people, then guess what? That means that people get to do it to you. And if you don't like it, then don't do it to other people. Because I know some of you, I do. And I know some of you will call them babies. I know some of you guys will probably call them stupid. You probably call them unintelligent. You probably do this, and this. I know some of you people. And I'm not trying to throw shade. But some of you people are evil. So, it's like, why? Why would you go that length? So just don't, right? It's the first year. It's their first year, and they deserve to have 3 grades above them to be able to help and guide them, right? And not destroy them, because that's not right. Because that's not what we were here for, right? We're here to be leaders, and no matter how many times the counselor or the administrative tries to push us, our class specifically, class of 2026, they try to push us into the shadows. We refuse, because they deserve leaders, and I think we could all be those leaders. And the juniors, they're cool and all, they're cool, but no one can replace us. So just, it's just all about being nice. We just gotta be kind to one another. Some people know what I'm referencing. But we just gotta be good people, right? Because you don't know what's happening outside of school. Don't know what's happening inside of school, right? We don't really know all these people, right? So I know some of you guys might know some of them. Y'all got real friendly with them during summer bridge and stuff like that. So y'all probably do know them to some extent, but that doesn't mean you know them, right? So just making sure that we're guiding them to where they need to be, and saying, hey, if a counselor tells you that you can't do that, then that means you should, because it means that counselor is secretly doubting you, and you should turn that hate that ability of that person doubting you and just enmesh it into passion. Mesh it into intelligence. Mesh it into something that will help you get to where you need to be. Because the more times they tell you that you can't do something should be the more encouragement for you to do that something. Don't let anyone else tell you that you can't. Because people told me I couldn't. And guess where I am? I'm about to graduate in 10 months. So don't let them tell you that you can't. Because the minute you start listening, the minute you start saying, hey, maybe I wasn't cut out for this, is the minute they win. And that goes to not just them, but that goes to everyone. Right? Classes are going to get harder. The times might get harder as well. You might win, you might lose. You're going to take a few L's, and that's okay. It's all about what you do with those L's that really matter, you know? So, take all of that, right, and apply it. Find someone who really is going to understand. Some people will go to the counselor, but some people have built relationships and friendships, right? Minus that counselor. There are teachers who have relationships with students that student is comfortable enough to tell the teacher that, hey, I don't like how this, and this is going. Where those teachers basically become secondary counselors, right? And sure, they can't really help you with like classes and stuff like that, and maybe they can. I don't really know the whole extent, but building a real, transparent friendship, relationship, whatever it is in school, is the most crucial thing and the most vital thing you could possibly have when it comes to social life, right? When it comes to the social stuff, because we don't get all the stuff that other schools do. We don't get we don't get the we don't get the sports, right? We don't get the culinary classes. We don't get that stuff, right? Maybe not yet. Maybe for you guys, not yet. Me, no. That time's long past. That's over. That's gone. That's gone. That's. I don't know why I even thought that we were gonna have anything high school affiliated like sports. So my grades cook, but not you guys. You guys might get all that stuff, but really building those friendships and those relationships, real relationship building, not whatever happened in Sunbridge, real relationship building, real conversations, being around people who will support you no matter what, be there no matter what, is the most important thing ever. Because while everything kind of is in your hands, right? They can help you just a little more, you know? They can help you get somewhere that you couldn't get yourself. A lot of team building, a lot of work building, you know? So just find someone. It can be one person, it can be two, but don't let it be a whole lot of people, you know? Find someone who you can really connect with, because if you can, then you will have a safe space. And I think creating that safe space going into high school is something that's really important, because who knows what's going to happen during high school. The stakes get higher, you know? We got GPAs and we're dealing with dual credit stuff, so it's like the stakes are going to get higher. And we can't really bottle all of that stuff in, you know? We can't really sit there and just let it all beat us up and punch us down and all the stuff, you know? We can't let that stuff happen, because all that stuff is going to potentially build up, and it might lead to something that you're going to regret. So just telling someone, right? Nobody deserves to be alone, you know? So it's like, really build those relationships. There's going to be a whole lot of new teachers, so it's like, you guys are coming here as freshmen, and then there's new teachers who are teaching their first year, or they're new to this school, and you guys are going to have to feel it, you know, together. You're probably gonna build more friendships with the newer teachers than the older ones because they've known us more. But not to say that it's like an exclusive thing. You can still talk to those teachers and still build the relationships, but it's like there will be more understanding, right? When two people who have never been to someplace go to someplace, the chances of them becoming friends is highly, and you know, it might. It's all gonna be positive. I, I mean, I don't really know. I can't say. I can't predict the future. I can't predict it. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do know that we all deserve a spot here, right? Maybe no, we all deserve a spot here. We all do. We all deserve a spot here, right? So don't let anyone kick you out of it. There's enough seats for everyone. Okay? Some of you guys are haters, and that's maybe not, maybe okay. But just know where to draw the line, you know? Like, I feel like no one's really told us that. Like, like there's times where people have gone too far. Um, but just be transparent to yourself. Don't try to build this person that isn't you. Don't build that person up and then live to regret it, saying how I wish I could have showed my real self when I had the chance, right? Don't do that. Middle school is probably already rough enough. Look, this school has a whole lot of different kinds of people, right? Ethnicities, races, like just everyone's kind of here. Every single thing, right, that you could think of is all thrown into this school. So it's a real place. It's a real place where you guys can all kind of connect. Like if you didn't think you could find your people in, oh my god, everything's shaking, earthquake. If you didn't think you could find your people in middle school or even elementary school, I bet you're gonna find people in this school, right? And going back to education, classes are gonna get harder, right? You're gonna get two new classes, I think, every year after sophomore year. So you're gonna get your, and maybe it's three. I don't really know. I know my boy Noel Clover 88, aka Kyrie Allen's gonna be over here correcting everything I say. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. I know you're saying something. That's a joke. But he people know just a little bit more than me. And that's completely okay. So it's just kind of like stuff is gonna get more and more ramped up, right? And it's gonna be more stress inducing. And that's fine. But just like I said, wrapping it all back to each other is just finding those safe spaces and finding those people, right? Because that's important. Friendships are important. Classes are semi more important, but it's like classes and then like friends, but the friends is right there because just you need that social life. You need to balance, actually. Balance for two, right? Because you deserve an education. You deserve friends. You don't deserve any less of an education, and you don't deserve any less friends. Some friends will leave your life. That's completely okay. That's fine. That's what people do. Sometimes people get up and leave. It's happened. It happens to everyone, right? But don't let it define you. Okay? Do not let it define you. But yeah, that's really it. Just being nice to each other, right? It's a different type of video. I know. You guys are probably expecting me to like shit talk the school or something. And believe me, that might happen. Things might get worse. But this is really kind of a self-care, self-improving video. And it's really different, It's really different. Hearing from how I was talking about a year ago to now, I think that's character development enough right there. I guess it just goes to show. right? Hey, I got people. You got people. Surround yourself with good ones, not bad ones. You'll be able to tell really fast who the bad ones are, right? Be good. Be kind to another. Because we're all in this together. Like that one song. We're all in this together. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Um, Final thing before I go, right? I can't wait to see all you guys. Can't wait to see all the classes. Can't wait to see all my friends. And we're gonna be sitting around doing absolutely nothing. In that new phone rule, they're gonna have to pry it out of my hands because, I mean, I don't know if it even applies to us, but they're gonna have to like pry it out of my hands, because that's not happening. And we're gonna be in the college like the college building most of the time, so it's not really even gonna matter to us. And also, another thing, I have a project. There's a project that I'm making. It's called code name Broken Guitar. If you want more about that, I'll probably make another video on it. But I don't want to get too much into that because that's not what this video is for. But hey, you guys have been great. Just share this to whoever. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really go. It's not just to the freshmen, but it's kind of to everyone, right? There's still a long road ahead, right? Even after high school, college, life, jobs. Oh my God, I just dropped the J word. Oh no. Well, I should probably get out of here. Yeah, there'll probably be another video from me. Maybe not school related, but you'll probably see another video from me. All right. Hug your friends, your family, and this is Daylight Reborn. Taryn signing out one last time for the summer. Okay. Bye, guys. Oh my gosh. What the fuck? What the hell? Oh, man, this is going to be a terrible year. Who said that?